We're talking about men's.
And it was
So long for me.
Okay.
Most English teachers and grammarians will hate this video. So, is it wrong to use the fillers and Now, we've been taught to force ourselves to not use these ums and these uhs. So, what is my opinion? What do I think about this, my students? Well, before I tell you my opinion, I want to explain to you the function of these ums and these uhs. Why do people use and But before I explain this to you, my students, I am going to need supplies. What's this?
Supplies.
So, let's say that this staircase represents a conversation. This handrail represents the fillers and So yesterday I went to the park with some friends and we ended up playing some basketball. After we played basketball, we went to his house and we ended up drinking some water. After we drank water, we went to his other friend's house and we ended up playing some video games. You see, my students, people use and whenever they lose their train of thought. And when people are thinking about what they want to say, they tend to grab the handrail, so to speak, as an assistance, right? The handrail, the and the in a way allows the person to scan through their brain for that thought that they want to turn into words, and those words that they want to convey as a message to the other person. So, what do I think about this, my students? Is it okay to use and to use in a conversation? Well, I'll put it to you this way. You wouldn't wear a suit to the beach, and you wouldn't wear a tank top to a job interview or a business meeting. So what's my point, my students? Well, my point is that you wouldn't want to overuse these ums and these uhs, these fillers, in formal occasions, business meetings or job interviews or presentations. Although the truth is that native English speakers do use these ums and these uhs in these formal occasions. And this includes business meetings and presidential debates.
Other Republican candidates for the
And in the same way, my students, it's okay to say and to say to remember what you were going to say or to catch your train of thoughts in informal conversations when you're talking with your family or when you're talking with your friends. You wouldn't want to sound like a robot when you're catching up with your friends over lunch. So why do I feel this way? Well, my students, I feel that in this world that we live in, it is these mistakes and these imperfections in the English language that help us to sound more natural, more human. It's kind of like what Robin Williams said in that movie, Good Will Hunting, when talking about love.
The little idiosyncrasies that only I knew about. That's what made her my wife. Boy, and she had the goods on me, too. She knew all my little peccadillos. People call these things imperfections, but they're not. Oh, that's the good stuff.
It's the same thing with language, my students. It's these weird things, these imperfections that make language so interesting, so unique, and so beautiful. So, what is my suggestion? learn the English language and learn it so well that you would have the ability to not overuse and in formal occasions like business meetings and job interviews, but also have the ability to know when and how to break these rules in the English language. And by doing this, my students, by doing this, you will be one step closer to mastering the English language and to sounding like a native English speaker.